To open it up for one question from the audience. Does anyone have a question about an issue that has not been addressed already? All right, well, yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure how I would want to word it, but taxes did come up. And while I can agree with things that you all said, we certainly do need to increase revenue, but that does take time. So in the meantime, what would you look at to keep our taxes in check? It was mentioned before how much they've gone up over the last few years. When we moved here just 2 years ago, we looked at taxes in surrounding communities and said to ourselves, they're pretty reasonable in Wisconsin. And then that very first year, we faced a 22% increase, which was held at 14%. But we can't keep robbing Peter to pay Paul. So while we're looking for future revenue, how would you plan on bringing those taxes in line so that people will say, that's a reasonable tax base, I'd like to live there?
Mr. Rines.
Thank you. Good question, Kim. Well, I think we've been working on that for the past couple of years. Just a couple of years ago, this town has really poor spending habits. We were having overdrafts all over the place. And the board, we have tightened up on that, and this year we're down to only 2 accounts with overdrafts. Just watching what you're doing will help. There's a lot of talk about economic development tonight, and as Kim said, it takes a while. This town we hired economic development after being Yankee closed, and we spent well in excess of $300,000. And maybe with the exception of Rines, I don't know of anything else that they did. Even having economic developers is very difficult to find somebody to move in. Every town has an economic developer. But it's not easy getting new people to come into a town like that. But just keeping an eye on the budgets, and I think we are doing a better job of that, will help. And looking into things like whether or not to go with CLC, whether or not to stay with the schools or not. Those are things that we can do. Maybe none of them will pan out, maybe something will. But that's kind of where we're at the moment. And that's about all at this point that we can do to try to stabilize things.
Mrs. Anderson.
So in the very short term, I would say that this select board needs to get together with the school board and form a working relationship. Our school board rolled over $700,000 in carryover. Our school board is owed $1.1 million that this town misplaced for a year or so. Our school board doesn't have the same idea about taxes as the select board does, and I think it's because our school board doesn't have to collect the taxes. There are towns where the school board has to collect their own taxes, and then I bet you they would have some different ideas about how money was spent and what a suitable amount for carryover was. I was shocked when I heard about the $700,000 carryover when this board eliminated all carryover to help the taxpayers. If we could get together and not if, we would have to do this. Work in a civil and professional and polite and kind and empathetic way with the school board, because 50% of our taxes go to the schools. So that would be the very shortest term. I would say we would need to have this working relationship with them so that we could all work to the benefit of the community. Because the schools need the community to stay open and to stay viable. The community needs the schools to be viable. It's like this, okay? It's a dovetail. Longer term, like in a short, like a 3 to 5 year plan, we need a plan. We can't keep saying, oh, it's hard to have a plan. Life is hard. Planning is hard, so we have to get up and do it. We have to try hard and work hard and get stuff done. I plan to be here for with my 47, I plan to be here for, God willing, 40 more years. I'm not gonna spend 40 years saying like, rats, it's too hard. We can't develop economics. BS, I call BS. We have to do this. I need to do this. Someday I might try to sell my house and I wanna have a buyer. This has to be done.
You're so demanding.
I am demanding.
I
Polite.
Yes. On a light note, I would say that I disagree somewhat that planning is hard. Planning is very easy. Sticking to the plan is hard. I think that Ben is right. I think fundamentally, in the short term, there isn't a whole lot we can do because there's only X amount of money and there are Y number of claimants to that money. I think in the last year, the select board has done a very good job in tightening up their oversight. I think that we have a huge problem with the town audit. There's no excuse, as I know that Ben and Judy and everybody on the board, there's no excuse and no reason for this to be virtually a year after our fiscal year is closed and we still don't have last year's audit. It's hard to track things. It's hard to keep an eye on budgets when you don't have an appropriate audit. I think basically in the short term, what can be done is some belt tightening, some paying attention to budgets, watching for overdrafts, and perhaps to a certain degree, a little bit of better short and intermediate term planning, budget planning. Do we really need X, Y, Z this year, or could we put it off for a year or two? Or maybe it's better to go ahead and buy a brand new whatchamajigger rather than try and repair this. Those are hard questions that can and need to be asked. I don't think this has changed, but speaking to the $700,000 carryover, mill rate equals roughly somewhere in the neighborhood of $450,000, 1 mill. So that $700,000 carryover is almost 2 mills off your taxes right there. Just something to think about.
Okay. The budget process is very hard. It's very draining on the select board to have to make hard decisions. They're not easy decisions to make. Ben mentioned the 14% hike in taxes. That was the worst decision I as a selectman ever had to make. I went home that night and couldn't sleep. I didn't want to have to do it. But we had to. We have looked at our budgets. This year, we streamed it down to the bare necessity. I think we did it this year. We went back and said, we gave the raises that had to, or contractual. We want the department heads watch their money. We keep track of them. They start going off the wrong end. We pull the reins back and say, you're done spending. You gotta curtail yourself. We only have 2 accounts that are overrun. Maybe next year we'll have 0, hopefully. But you have a select board that is watching every penny that you guys, our taxes, we watch it. We're not spending it frivolously. I don't feel we are. The town budget is very tight. I don't think there's anything we can do right now until we get economic development into this town. The only thing the select board can do is try and keep things down and tight as we can.
In the meantime, I think there should be a program in place for the residents and to get business owners together on it to possibly pay a fee to the town in a separate account and send people off to jobs for 3-4 hours here and there when they can. A program that will help not only our business owners and the employees that they need, but they could pay the town with that person maybe into the facility towards their property taxes. I think that would help, a lot of people's burden paying property taxes if we could come up with a way to make it work. I think that would benefit not only the town, but local business owners paying a fee to the town to have that kind of service. And, have of agreements and legal documentation to make it work. I think that's possible to do, maybe not, but it's an idea, we can go off that.
Thank you. All right,